everyone. Welcome back to today's Seniors Living Well. Make 2013 your lucky year. We just had two very informative segments as usual. One about the ambulance services in Amador County, and then one with Sheriff Ryan about some of the sort of thinking ahead kinds of programs like the Hidden Key that allow you to prepare for an emergency, like if you are unconscious and your house is locked. If the sheriff knows where your hidden key is, they can get in and help you a lot faster. Our next segment is something that's even sort of more long-term planning, and I have with me Debbie LaValle, who I always used to call Karen. I don't know why, but I think I got the Debbie part right now, from our very own Kit Carson Skilled Nursing Facility and Rehab Facility. And you are the
Admissions Marketing Director.
Admissions and Marketing Director. And marketing skilled nursing facilities can be a challenge sometimes, but I think sharing the information about our wonderful local facility must be a little bit easier because you have a lot of things going on at Kit Carson.
Yes, we do. I can start telling you a little bit about what we do as far as services for our community.
Yeah.
We do have a phenomenal rehab unit that is for people that sometimes plan surgeries, unexpected surgeries, maybe pneumonia, recovering. We have 5 days a week of therapies inpatient. We do take Medicare, Medi-Cal. So we're able to help a lot of people get back home and get back on track. Another important thing is when you are getting ready for a planned surgery is to give a call if you might need the rehab services. Sometimes you do not, sometimes you do. You do not know until after you're in after recovery from the surgery.
Right.
So it's good just to get your information, your ducks in a row prior to your surgery, just in case you might need the rehab inpatient services. So that's a very important aspect.
So all us baby boomers that are having our hips and knees replaced, if we think there's a chance that we might go to Kit Carson after our surgery, we should contact you and
Yes, and I can give you more information on how it works. You bet, you bet.
And then if somebody like falls and breaks a hip and is in a local hospital or even a hospital in Sacramento, their family, while they're in the hospital, should probably contact you.
Yes,
and say,
definitely.
my
Find out
mom
about
broke her
us.
hip
Find
and-
out how it works in our rehab unit. Questions are very important to ask during that time. There's a lot of stuff that comes up for people, and that's what we're there for, is the information, to deliver out to the public what we do have to offer. In Medicare, as we know, only will allow a short stay now in the hospital, the acutes. So the skilled nursing facilities really have become a large part of rehab services in the communities.
Right.
So really, that is an important thing, is to find out information beforehand.
Right.
Yeah, and if it happens unexpected, just call us up, and then we'll tell you how it all works. And so will the case managers usually at the normal acute hospitals. They have a lot of information about skilled nursing.
Right, right. And you mentioned recovering from pneumonia and getting therapy for that. And I think sometimes people just think about broken bones in rehab, but like my uncle, who was elderly, had a very serious ostomy problem, and he was very weak, and he ended up at Kit Carson for about, I'm thinking 6 to 8 weeks, and went through the rehab program to get his strength back from that experience, and he was able to go home.
Exactly. There's different things.
Different things,
bet.
yeah.
That's why if you call, I can give you information
about
on what's
it,
covered
yeah.
under your services.
Right, that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, and that wasn't planned. He didn't plan to go to Kit Carson, but he had a very good experience there. People don't like to think about winding up in a nursing home, but it does happen. And talk to us a little about how people can prepare for that.
Well, the most important thing is education, and that is by doing your homework and calling senior center, nursing home, or finding out information, what's available. Sometimes it's assisted living, sometimes it's skilled nursing, but there's a lot of resources in our community, and I'm there to assist people on what's best for their loved one. Sometimes they're just inquiring before it can happen. Very important. Because sometimes you have a caregiver that's burnt out, they just drop that day, they can't do it anymore. There's a planned step to everything. You just don't admit overnight. So we need to explain some of those things. So we want people to call, be prepared for their loved ones just in case those things happen. Sometimes somebody's at home living independently and everything's going okay, but the family's thinking, what if this would happen? Because it might have happened to their neighbor.
Right.
So it's important just to find out what you need to do if you get into that situation. information, and that is just really the education. It's just finding out what you can just in case.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's pretty complicated between Medicare, Medi-Cal, supplemental insurances, private pay, and a lot of times people, they'll come to the senior center and they'll want, well, I want to know how much it's going to cost if I have to go into Kit Carson, and I'm just like, you need to go over to Kit Carson and talk to Debbie because, you have that information to share with them.
Yes.
We've had several people in our caregivers group also have their loved one come and stay at Kit Carson for respite. Is that
Something we also do is short stay. Respite is a short stay. Sometimes families need to go to a family reunion or there's something happening. They cannot have grandma travel with them. It's a place where you could stay for a week or two. Sometimes we have people for 6 months because somebody's recovering at home from a surgery that can't risk, lifting them if something happens. So we do short stays, and that's another thing that I can talk to people about. We do take the Medi-Cal. It is recognized. Also, we do take long-term policies. Medicare will not pay for a short stay. That is a hospitalization for people to know information-wise. Part A is your hospitalization, and you must qualify through an acute. But there is other ways and means to come in. So they would just need to call and check into that because people don't realize that you can bring them into a place for 24-hour care. And we can discuss that if they want to call.
Yeah, and you can explain to them the difference between skilled nursing and residential
Custodial.
care and custodial. And the long-term care policies, that's an important thing for people to think about because people are buying those more now, and it's good to know that kind of care, that it doesn't mean that if you're going to use the policy, you have to be willing to move in and have it be your nursing home, your home the rest of your life. That there are all these different options that are possible.
A lot of those long-term policies offer the home health in the home, or if they need to go to skilled nursing, recognize to pay those too. I have people call a lot, just ask what our rates are, because they are looking at those long-term policies. Very important to find out what's the going rate, to kind of judge maybe you need to do a few bucks more, just because inflation will rise. So we need to always, be there to answer those things for the public, that they need to know, hey, this is what cost of living is going up, and so are we. So long-term policies are very important to find out financially how much are nursing homes going for.
Right. So it sounds like now if somebody wanted to sit down and have a talk with you, it would be good for them to call you.
Yes.
And get your pencils out because I'm going to ask her for the phone number. And then bring their policies and their information so that you can go over them with them.
You bet. I can talk with them about their insurance plans and help them understand what is covered, what wouldn't be, what their options are. You bet.
And are you able to give tours? Like if someone wanted to go
Scheduled
around?
tours are always, I always tell people, come in. When they're asking information, I want them to come in, look around too, get the feeling, and see how things work inside our facility. So yes, everything is scheduled. There's only one me for admissions coming in. So I do things by appointment, but the number there is 223-2231.
See, that's an easy one.
I'm extension 41, or just ask for Debbie in admissions. They call me Debbie in.
Debbie in, because there is Debbie Little, who's Debbie out.
Our social service discharge
Right,
planner. So they
right.
call me Debbie in. We're both up front. Right when you walk in the building, we're there to welcome you. But we definitely would like to show the facility and give you more information if you're looking for that.
And I think really taking a tour and seeing kind of the quality of life that is going on there is very reassuring to people. I know my uncle was like one of these people, I'm never going into a nursing home, but he was very well taken care of, and he really had a good experience. And like I say, he went home. So, so are you still using volunteers to do activities and stuff?
Yes, we are. We still have a lot of volunteers in our community. Coming up, we're going to be taking them out to a nice luncheon.
Oh, very good.
Yes, so we're going to take them out for a nice luncheon. We do celebrate once a year for our volunteers and appreciation. So we're always looking for new people, people that feel that they want to give some time back to the community, might have extra time in retirement or just the time in their life that they want to give. We would love to have you at our facility to give to us, so they can call the same number and ask for Jeannie and activities, which is 223.
Jeannie Reed is still there?
2231, and just ask for activities.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yes.
And it's good to know that there's all different levels of care. You did have some hospice beds for a while. Is that program still?
No, we no longer have hospice with us.
Okay.
We now we do it ourselves. We have what we call comfort care, and we're looking in the future even designing a room for the families that they can stay in. We do accommodate that though at this point, but we're looking at some new ideas what we can do for people in privacy during that time and making the family comfortable.
Right.
And we do that now, but like I said, we want to do a special room for that. Yeah. So I think
So
in the
that's
future
something-
that's going to be even a nicer option to come in, and we're around the clock. And that's a nice option too. We always have 24-hour nursing care.
Right.
Yeah.
And that
allows
sometimes
families
that's-
to be there
yeah,
and not be the caregivers, just to be
Right.
the families and love the person during the time.
during the time, and just focus on not doing things, but just being with them.
Exactly.
And your staff can take care of things.
And that's important.
It
People
really
need
is.
to realize
It
that
really is.
giving up that caregiver role is very hard, but it's a good decision sometimes, so this way you can be able to take care of yourself and be truly there the way you want to for your loved one.
And I know that the facility is very welcoming to family members that want to come in.
Yeah.
A lot of the people in my caregiver support group, I know like the wives would go there and they were there for every meal to feed their,
Yes.
to help, their loved one eat, or no one ever felt like, oh my God, here comes Mrs. So-and-so again. You guys
We're
are
all
very
family.
welcoming.
We're very much
It does
family
have that
operated.
feel there. It really does. And I'm a little prejudiced because I used to work there, but so Debbie, thank you so much for coming back in, and
you,
I
Laurie.
hope all of you will avail yourself of the opportunity to go check out Kit Carson. And stay tuned. We're going to be talking about Lifeline next.